In the previous build video, we fitted the Bushtec gull-wing doors and the Ironman 4x4 bull bar and the brand new Ironman 4x4 scope spotlights. The next step was to fit the Ironman 4x4 snorkel and some gadgets to the interior of the vehicle.
Don't you just love it when the courier guy pops in first thing in the morning? I've received 3 parcels this morning, and these are all the goods that we'll be fitting inside the Jimny, just to make our time in the Jimny more pleasant. Now, previously I mentioned the fact that the Jimny is a bit shy on oddment space, cup holders, etc. So we got a hold of the guys at JimSA. There's a link in the description below to their website, and they have an absolute plethora of products to help you make the interior of the Jimny just that little bit more livable. I'll quickly run through what we've decided to acquire. So the first thing is this oddment tray that will go, this is the one that goes just above the instrument binnacle. There's a place here for your phone. It's got a nice little rubber mat inlay. Keys, wallets, etc. There's another one here, I think it's this one. This one goes above, yes, this one goes above the radio, the head unit. More oddment space. Fantastic. Then we have, very importantly, cup holders. We got 2. And these cup holders are fully adjustable, and they actually bolt into existing bolt holes in the front of the dashboard. And they sit right in front of the vent, so if you put a cold drink in here, you can actually blow cold air onto them and keep your drinks cold, which is great. What have we got here? This is a power module, and this actually plugs over the bottom section of the dash where the cigarette lighter is. And it converts that single cigarette lighter into another 2 USBs plus another 2 cigarette lighters. Always handy to have charge points for your phones and GPSs and stuff like that. Then we have, these are 2 little, these are great. These little jobbies here fit over on the rear door, the rear window demister. The little wires that provide power to the rear demister are kind of exposed. An absolute oversight by Suzuki, if you ask me. But these guys have got these little covers. They double side on into place, and they protect those wires. If you're loading stuff in and out of the back, you can easily rip one of those wires off. So that's to help us protect that. And there's more. These are little cups that you screw in underneath the handle on the door of the vehicle, and it then turns that handle into a cup. You can slot a phone in there or something small, a wallet, a very small wallet. And then the last thing we have from JimSA is this is an armrest for the driver's seat. This lid actually lifts up, and there's space inside here to store stuff, but it's also an adjustable armrest, which is always great when you're traveling. Then from these guys are, let me just get their name here, M-Tech Communications. Link in the description below. Speak to Marcus, hell of a nice guy, and they supply vehicle communications, 2-way radios, VHF, UHF. So we got a radio, little radio for a little car, very cute, with its speaker. And then we also got the aerial, which is M-Tech's own aerial. It's quite a staunch black aerial. These aerials were specifically developed to be mounted on the bull bar or nudge bar on the front of a vehicle. Your conventional wire whip aerials were never designed for that application. So by all accounts, these aerials give fantastic range for receiving and transmitting from your radio. So quite keen to check these out. And if we're suitably impressed, we'll have to replace the aerials on all our vehicles with these. Really pumped to get this all in. Let's go put it in the car.
A snorkel is a great way to get clean air into the engine of your vehicle. A common misconception is that snorkels are made for water crossings, but the snorkel ensures that air coming into the engine is clean and cool. The sound deadening of the vehicle was not entirely finished, as the back of the Jimny still had some work. Mick was ready to install the armrest, but it seemed like the Jimny was fighting back. Bushdeck gave us some struts for a silky smooth open of the hood, and a strut for the back door of the Jimny to open a tad wider. I thought I'd show you guys a little bit more about the audio upgrade we're doing to our Jimny. We like our music, we like listening to music when we travel long distances, so it makes sense to have a good audio system in the vehicle. So the standard audio system in the Jimny is this head unit. It's actually a media player, it doesn't take any discs, so it connects to your phone via Apple CarPlay, and you can play whatever content is on your phone, streaming or whatever songs you have on your phone. It's not a bad unit, it's a low-powered unit, and it drives two very small little speakers in the door. These are low-powered speakers, you can tell by the size of the magnet. So, when you're traveling at highway speeds and there might be wind blowing and you've got a rooftop tent on the roof, a lot of noise happening, and you're going to have to crank the hell out of this thing to get any decent sound out of it. So we're going to chuck all of that out and replace it with some high quality aftermarket stuff. So as far as the head unit is concerned, we've elected to go with this Kenwood head unit. I like Kenwood. The quality of the sound out of these decks is very good, and the user interface is very good as well. Has got Apple CarPlay. It has got Apple CarPlay. The other important thing is that this head unit does not have, and the vehicle in fact does not have a reversing camera, which is kind of a safety feature. So we're going to add a rear view camera. When you select reverse, the head unit will trigger this little camera that sits inside this replacement number plate holder, and you'll have your rear view camera on your head unit, which is, I think it's very important. The speakers that we're going to replace these standard ones with are the Focal splits or component speakers, and you can tell by the difference in magnet size,
this is a beefier speaker. It's going to play louder, it's going to play clearer. But in order to do that, you do need power to drive it. It's not going to work on the standard head unit. This head unit, I'm reckoning, is about 7 or 8 watts per channel output. This one over here is 50, which is a lot better. And speakers need power to drive them properly. If there's not enough power to drive a speaker, you get distortion. Too much power, you get popping and clipping, but these will marry up very well. Component speakers are speakers where the tweeter section and the woofer section of the speaker are split away from each other, and we do that to mount the tweeter part of the speaker higher up, and that lifts the sound stage up. And what that means is when you're driving along, it sounds as if the music is coming from ahead of the dashboard, like you're at a music concert, as opposed to down in the footwell from the single speaker. Interesting to note that this split system comes with a dedicated crossover network. So what happens is the signal from the radio, full signal, comes through to the crossover, and the crossover splits the sound into high sounds and low sounds, and it'll send the low sounds to the woofer, and it'll send the high sounds to the tweeter. And the advantage of that is that the woofer only gets the low sounds in the music signal, and it can focus on that, where the tweeter can focus on the high sounds. And it just gives you a better quality of sound coming out of your audio system. The original head unit comes complete with this trim panel, which forms part of the dashboard. So it gives it a nice integrated look. Now we want to fit an aftermarket head unit, and this is a standard 6-inch double-din footprint. So you can see that it doesn't quite match up. Fortunately, in the audio aftermarket world, there are trim panels. So you can see that this trim panel is a replica of the original one. This one, however, has got a nice matte finish, whereas this piano finish lends itself to fingerprints. This one looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. There's some bracketing on the side of the original head unit, which we'll remove. There's some screws holding it in place, and we'll attach those to the side of the replacement head unit, and those will screw onto the back of the trim panel, and it should just pop into place. There is a bit of a gap between that aperture and the actual head unit size, so we've elected to use some of this nice thin weather strip. We just put it neatly around the sides here. We'll pop it in, and let's see how it looks.
In the next episode, Mick fits the audio gear into the Jimny. We fit the brand new Ironman 4x4 rooftop tent, the awning, and the suspension. We also get stuck into the back of the Jimny. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like the videos, please like and subscribe. Till next time.